Hello and welcome back to another FPL video, and in this video I am going to go through my team selection for game week 30. Now usually I do a transfer plans video midweek where I take a look at who I'm thinking about bringing into my team for game week 30 or any other week really. But I've been away so I've not had a chance to do that, so really it's going to be all about my team selection for this week. But first, before I go into my team selection, we're going to look back in game week 29 and see how I got on. So then, this is how I got on then in game week 29. 118 points was my total. Obviously 122 was the actual, but I took a -4, so 118 is how I ended. I should be really happy about that score, but yet again, I scored over 100 points and I get a red arrow. It's really frustrating. It always seems to happen. I get the red arrow when I get over 100 points. How does that work out? I know how it's happened. I tried to be different. I've not gone for Ollie Watkins, and I've not gone Rashford captain, and it's hit me hard. And it's frustrating, but I just have to deal with it, because I'm going to keep doing it. I do it because I think my rank is going to go better, but it just seems to get worse. But it is what it is. So let's talk about the goalkeepers then. So obviously Kepa, starting goalkeeper. Got a cushy 8 points in the end, so happy about that kind of. I mean, generally, I thought Chelsea get a clean sheet against Aston Villa. I underestimate Aston Villa, to be fair, but I still thought Stamford Bridge, I know how bad they've been, but I still believe that they'll get this win. They need to get Champions League, they need to climb that table, so to have lost that game 2-0, it shocks me. So when the Liverpool game came up, I was worried, to be fair. Strangely enough, the Liverpool seemed to drop a lot of their key players, which I was surprised about, so thankfully the game ended 0-0 and I got those clean sheet points, so happy about that. Raya, on the other hand, on my bench, so bench boost, that worked out perfectly by the way. 45 points off my bench boost. Really happy with that. So yeah, Raya, I mean, what a performance he did. He got me 8 points, but it's all about that Brighton-Brentford game. 3-3, and you're thinking, oh no, 1 point for Raya. No, he came away with 6 points. It was unbelievable. The guy made 11 saves. He got 3 save points, 2 bonus points, appearance point. The man was absolutely insane. Really happy with that. It would have been even better if he managed to get a clean sheet against Man United, but can't fault him really. Absolutely incredible performance from him. He did his best to keep a clean sheet, obviously in the Brighton game, but it weren't to be. But yeah, fair play to him. With a defence then, so mixed feelings about my defenders if I'm being honest. So I went double Newcastle defence still. Obviously Kieran Trippier absolutely smashed it out the bag, 14 points. Got an assist, got 3 bonus points, got a clean sheet. Brilliant. Obviously second game against West Ham, really frustrating because Newcastle absolutely battered them. They won by 4 goals. 5-1 was the score. If only they could have kept another clean sheet, that would have boosted me up a little bit more, but weren't to be. So Dunburn, frustrating in the second game, however, didn't get that clean sheet. Obviously Newcastle performed brilliantly against Man United though, and relieved really that Dunburn didn't get a yellow card in either game, because he seems to be a bit silly getting yellow cards. So I can only be happy with that. 8 points. Newcastle boys can't really complain too much. Henry on the other hand, I mean, 3 points in total, obviously. 2 points for the United game, that 1 point for the Brighton game. So obviously Real did so well against Brighton. Defenders wise, not so great for Henry. I mean, he's only 4.5 million. That's what I've got to keep saying to myself. I can't expect a lot out of a player that cheap. He's not exactly a guy that's always been known to attack and returns. Obviously, at the minute, their defence hasn't been great. Brentford, they are conceding the odd goal, and they have got tough fixtures, I think, from now to the end of the season. So how long he'll last in my team, I don't know. But if he does last, he'll probably just be on my bench, if I'm being honest. Zinchenko, I mean, I was really angry about this one, to be fair, because out of all the defenders I said last week, I believed that he was the one that was going to get a clean sheet. But yet again, I start him and he doesn't get one. Every time I start him, he doesn't get one. When he's on my bench, he'll get one. A little frustrating. They absolutely battered Leeds, and they still conceded 1 goal, and it's just frustrating. Again, like the Newcastle West Ham game, they win by a big margin, but they concede that 1 goal. Just that lapse of concentration, and unfortunately, he ended up just 2 points because a lot of people obviously getting rid of their Arsenal players, particularly defenders. So I could have again achieved some better ranking points, or a better rank, more points if I had a clean sheet there, but weren't to be. Frustrating really. And then finally, Reece James, 7 points from him. So frustrating that he had that goal disallowed against Liverpool. I felt like it was onside. But yeah, really, really frustrating that was. I mean, I'm happy that he started both games. So that's a positive. Obviously, after that England game, we wasn't too sure because the managers don't say, yes, he's going to play. They're like, he trained. That's not the most help I need. I need to know, is he going to play? Is he going to play 60 minutes? Can you tell me that? No. Frustrating. But he did play both games, 90 minutes. Happy with that. Got a clean sheet against Liverpool. Could have got a goal. That would have really smashed it for me. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. 7 points for Reece James. I was expecting one clean sheet from Chelsea out of these two games. So I kind of got the prediction right. It was just the teams that I was against, I was the wrong way around. And then on midfielders, I mean, if I'm being honest, frustrating. I'm a bit angry, to be fair. Right, so we'll go into my bench players first. Just the happy side. The happy side, I call it. So the Brighton midfielders, yet again, brilliant. McAllister got a penalty against Brentford, scored it right at the end. Really happy with that. A bit frustrated that he didn't get any bonus points for it, but the important thing is Solly March didn't get any goals in these two games. So I got help there because a lot of people got Mitoma and March, where I've gone for McAllister and Mitoma. So happy about that. And then Mitoma, I mean, this guy has been unbelievable this season. Yet again, smashes out the park. Got the assist against Bournemouth. Did absolutely brilliant against Brentford as well as. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. Like a goal and assist in 2 games. Really happy with that. He's so undervalued. Will he last much longer at Brighton? I doubt it. He'll probably get shipped off. Well, some big clubs are going to sign him in the summer, I reckon. But yeah, 14 points from Matoma, 9 points from McAllister. Really happy with Matoma. Goal and obviously the assist. McAllister, it would have been nice to have a bit more input from him in the second game for Brighton, but I can't really complain too much. But I did think he would get another goal, possibly. It was against Bournemouth, so I am a little disappointed, even though I do say Bournemouth are really good at home. Now, my starting 3 midfielders that I have. So, Jarrod Bowen was one of the guys I brought in for this game week. Now, I said that they've got a really good double game week, West Ham have, and they did. And obviously, the Southampton game was the key one for them. And so frustratingly, he hit the bar in the Southampton game. If that went in, I would have been buzzing, but no, he hit the bar. Absolutely frustrating. A centre back scored the goal for West Ham. So disappointed about that. He did get an assist against Newcastle, but that was it really. So I mean, I guess I just have to take those 8 points, but it's just really frustrating. I was honestly expecting double figures when it came to Jarrod Bowen, but again, like he has all of this season, he's been a bit disappointing really. So yeah, a bit disappointed with Bowen. And then Maddison, I mean, yeah, talk about disappointment. He was absolutely frustrating, shocking. I'm so angry at myself that I had him as captain. I generally thought, now, Leicester, I still think had the best double game week out of everybody. Because, yes, West Ham had Southampton. Their second game was against Newcastle. That's a tough game. Where Leicester, Crystal Palace, just sacked the manager, Roy Hodgson. Is he going to do it? Apparently he can. Apparently he can do it. So he beat Leicester. And then they go to home. They're at home to Villa. They beat Villa 4-2 away. They're going to get them, surely. No, they lost again. Only one goal in that game as well. Was it Maddison? No. Was he involved? No. Thankfully, he didn't get a yellow card in either game. But yeah, he was my captain and he got me 8 points in 2 games. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. I regret having him in my team now. I did think about having double Leicester at one point, Barnes, and that would have worked out a treat because Barnes actually scored a goal. Really frustrating there with Maddison. Leicester, I mean, obviously they've sacked the manager now. They really need to push now, which makes it more frustrating because now they need to push even more. Should I keep him in my team? Because, God, he could get the points, but at the minute I'm really frustrated with him, especially because he was my second transfer I brought in. Marcus Rashford, obviously Man United were disappointing against Newcastle. Tough game though that was. That was always going to be a tough game. I did generally think Newcastle were going to win. I thought they were going to exact revenge after that final. So I wasn't too surprised about that. But I was happy with the Brentford performance. Obviously, he got the goal. Hopefully he's back in form. Obviously, I think it was like one game, maybe 1 or 2 games he didn't score. He scored again, 12 points, happy. Would have been nice if I had him as captain, but I can't complain really too much. Really, 12 points for Rashford. Unfortunately, he's that highly owned. It won't make much of a difference for me unless I captained him. And then my strikers. So yeah, Danny Ings. He was my -4. I took out Haaland and I put in Danny Ings, who got me 3 points. So I actually had a loss off Danny Ings. Danny Ings. Unbelievably bad that was. I mean, why did I pick Danny Ings? It was either him, Havertz, who got 4 points, or Solanke, who did actually score in this game week, which is a little frustrating. I wasn't planning on going for Ollie Watkins because I feel like too many people are going for the same players. And yeah, Ollie Watkins is in good form, so I probably should have gone for him. But I felt like obviously Aston Villa's double game week was both games away. They won both games as well, whereas West Ham's were both at home. So I felt like that was a good route to go on, especially because West Ham are battered in relegation. They need the goals. Skamaka, whatever his name is, has been out a lot recently. Antonio's hardly ever fit. But it turns out the second game, so Danny Ings goes off early in the first game, and in the second game, he doesn't even start. Antonio actually comes back to start. I'm getting burned by West Ham players this season. So 2 defenders at West Ham burned me. Now Ings is burning me. Bowen I'm not too happy about either. I'm so angry about having Danny Ings in my team. I generally thought this is going to be the differential here. I thought he could get a haul of points. And now I'm stuck to decide whether to keep him or not. Because obviously Haaland's currently back apparently. So I've got that in my mind to what to do next. So really disappointed with Danny Ings. 3 points in total. It makes me sick looking at it, to be honest. Really frustrated there. Then I've got Harry Kane. Are we surprised Harry Kane scored a goal? Of course we're not, because it's Harry Kane. Obviously, their performance, I always say, it doesn't matter if the team wins, loses, or draws, as long as your player scores. And that's exactly what happened. Spurs didn't win. Doesn't matter, because Harry Kane scored. So 7 points Kane. Mr. Consistent. Happy that I kept him, because obviously he performed better than a double game week striker. So well done to him. Happy with that. And then finally, Ivan Toney, 11 points. No yellow card as well. So he's still available for now. Which is kind of a little frustrating because I was hoping he would get this yellow card in the second game against Man United so I can be forced to make the transfer. But he's not. So he's going to be available for game week 30. So now I've got some more thinking to do. But I can't complain though about him. He got me 11 points overall. Obviously, it's all to do that 3-3 draw against Brighton. So he got 1 goal, no assists though, but he did manage to get 3 bonus points. So to get the 3 bonus points when there's 6 goals, when it's your player, you can't really complain. So 11 points Tony, keeps scoring, which makes you think more and more should you keep him. I need to really have a look now at what to do now for game week 30 because there's a few players in my team I really don't like. So then let's go through my team then for game week 30. Now this is going to be my team currently where it's not made any transfers as of yet. I've only got that one free transfer, but at the end I'll talk about who I'm thinking about getting rid of and who I'm thinking about bringing in. But first let's talk about my goalkeepers and so there it is. You can see who I've gone for ahead of the other. So I've gone for Kepa instead of Raya. Now it's a tough one to be fair. The reason why I've gone for Raya on the bench though and Kepa to start is the fixture. So obviously Raya's got Newcastle at home. Newcastle are a really good team. Just battered West Ham 5-1. They're on a good roll at the minute. And obviously Brentford are a good team. They are conceding the odd goal here and there. So this could be another high scoring game for all we know. And yes, I know Raya did actually smash it. But the chances of him doing that again are probably a little bit slimmer. But he could also get a clean sheet. It could be a 0-0. It's a tough one. But I'm gone for Kepa. Because Wolves, they struggle to score goals. They've not really got an out-and-out goal scorer at the minute. So I believe there's a higher chance. Obviously, they've sacked the manager Chelsea. So these players have a point to prove. So I'm expecting big things from Chelsea this weekend. On to my defenders then. So I've gone for a back 3 here, obviously. So Henry and Dan Burn are the 2 guys to fall back. Because again, I've spoken about Raya. It's Newcastle versus Brentford this weekend. It's a real tough fixture. Like I said, it could be a 0-0, but this could be high scoring. I'm leaning towards high scoring, so it's definitely going to be 0-0 now I've said that. So that's why I've kept Henry and Dan Burn on the bench. And I've gone with obviously Kieran Trippier to start because you'd be mental not to start Kieran Trippier. The guy is just a points machine. So that's why he's starting. Doesn't matter if they concede 3 goals. He can score 14 points easily, Kieran Trippier. So that's why he's starting. I've got Zinchenko currently at the back. Liverpool away is a tough fixture, obviously. But you've just got to remember, this is not Liverpool 2020. This is Liverpool 2023, and they're not as good. And this is a new Arsenal. This Arsenal team is unbelievably good. The only issue is they have been scoring or conceding the odd goal here and there. And Zinchenko's not really been getting any assists recently. So he is somebody I'm considering about getting out of my team. Whether it be right now, I'm not too sure. But he is somebody I'm thinking about getting rid of. And then my final defender, Reece James of Chelsea. Now this guy, he could score you 18 points one game week or 1 point the next. It really depends on injuries and how Chelsea are doing. But like I said before, I'm expecting big things from Chelsea because they've got this sacking of the manager. Apparently, Frank Lampard's, I don't know if he's going to be in charge for this game. Hoping he's not, to be fair, because I don't rate him as a manager, if I'm being honest. So hopefully he's not going to be there in the changing room because I do think Chelsea can get a bit of a bounce. And hopefully Reece James can smash it and get a load of points. Because that's what I want. I need him to really smash it this game week. So I'm going for a back 3 with my defenders currently. A bit undecided. I mean, I could go for Dan Burn for double Newcastle. But because Newcastle away, it's make it a little bit more trickier. And Henry doesn't seem to get the points that I want. So it's going to be possibly a back 3 for me. So then, this is my midfield. I'm thinking about putting out for game week 30. This is the team that's more than likely midfield-wise to come out. So the reason I'm going for a 5-man midfield is I love the fixtures all 5 of them have got. And I know this double Brighton midfield has got Spurs away, but I don't know what it is about Spurs, but they're shocking to watch. I don't think they're happy right now, especially the fact that nobody wants to manage them. There's nobody that's come out and says they want to manage them. So the players might be thinking, what's the hell's going on here? Maybe we're not at it as good as before. And I'm hoping Brighton really go at them because they're in great form right now. And I'll be really happy with hat-trick from McAllister and a hat-trick assist from Matoma. That would do me nicely. So a bit of a gamble really for going double Brighton because easily Spurs could win this game. But I'm willing to take the risk on this one. Now I've gone for Rashford. He's currently down as my captain. He's 60%, I'm 60% sure anyway, he will be my captain. It's Everton at home. Now Sean Dyche is a tough guy to play against, to be fair, so this could be a tough one for him, which is why I'm only 60% certain. It could go to either Madison, could go to one of my strikers. But right now I've got it down as Marcus Rashford. Everton at home. United tend to do well against Everton, so I'm hoping that continues. We'll have to see. He's been in great form this season. He's been brilliant since after the World Cup. He had the odd game where he's not been great, but I'm a little confident that he will score in this game, which usually means he won't score and my captain will once again fail on me. But yeah, I've got Rashford currently down as captain. James Maddison is my vice captain. Before this game week, he was planned. Well, before game week 29, he was planned to be my captain for game week 13 as well. But that's changed after the performance. I've been burned by him in 29, if I'm being honest. It could change. I could gamble again. Just go, poo it. I'm just going to go for Maddison. But obviously, they've got Bournemouth at home, which is a really nice fixture for Leicester. And they've just sacked the manager. Will they get that bounce that some teams get? Now, not every team gets it, so there is that in the back of my mind. But if Leicester get that bounce and he scores, I'm going to be so frustrated he's not my captain again. So he's my second favourite, if I'm being honest, to be captain. It's a frustrating one because it's Bournemouth at home. If it was Bournemouth away, I'd be definitely going more Rashford. But because Maddison's at home, but then again, I keep thinking back to 29. He burned me twice because he had 2 games. So yeah, Maddison, Bournemouth at home. It's a nice fixture. I expect him to do well, but that means he won't do well. And then finally, I've got Bowen still in my team currently. He's got Fulham away. Whether David Moyes is going to be in charge for that game by then, I'm surprised that he's not been sacked, if I'm honest. Because that was absolutely shocking against Newcastle. To get battered 5-1 at home and not to be sacked as well, I was really surprised about that. But Jarrod Bowen, he's a good player, to be fair to him. Like I said, he hit the bar against Southampton. If he scored that goal, I've been buzzing, and I'd have no concerns about him, even after that 5-1 drumming he got. But unfortunately, that didn't happen, and that's all I can think about. But Fulham away is not the worst fixture in the world. Fulham concede chances. They're a great team, they're good teams to watch, but they do concede chances, and that's a plus. And obviously, they don't have Mitrovic as of for a while, Fulham, so they are a bit weaker. So hopefully, West Ham go all out to tackle them, and hopefully, he gets a goal in this game. So then, these are the two strikers that have gone for up front, and it was always obvious, wasn't it, to go for? It's always going to be Kane and Tony up front. Both of them are at home, which is good, I guess. But both of them are tough games, Brighton and Newcastle. Now, I can see them both scoring, and I can see them both blanking at the same time, which is really frustrating. Now, I'm leaning more towards Tony to score, because it's Newcastle, and that's his old team, where he's going to look to prove a point yet again. So that's why I'm leaning towards him possibly scoring, but I can't not back Harry Kane. The guy just scores. He didn't score 3-4 goals like Haaland. He would just score a goal, sit back in his seat. Next game, score a goal, sit back in his seat. That's all he seems to do. And that's all you want, really. You want your strikers to score. So that's why those two are always going to start for me at the minute. And of course, if he gets a yellow card, Tony, he'll be gone after this game week. But yeah, those two are definitely going to start, and there's no way in how I'm ever starting Danny Ings ever again. And like I said earlier, I haven't made my transfer yet. I've got one free transfer. Obviously, I can roll it and have two for game week 31. But if I'm being honest, I've got no interest right now. I want Danny Ings out of my team immediately. He's really annoyed me. Really annoyed me that I've gone for him. So far, my best plan right now is to get Erling Haaland back straight away. He's been training again with Man City. Man City got Southampton away, bottom of the league. It seems to be stupid to just hold Danny Ings just for another transfer the following game week when Haaland's got Southampton away. So what I'd do is I'd put Haaland in, take either McAllister or Matoma out, put them on my bench, and bring him into the starting team. I would love to take another defender out, but I can't. That's probably my best option to go for right now. I don't want to take Bowen out because he's got Fulham away. I don't want to take Madison out because he's got Bournemouth at home. Rashford's got Everton. So it's really the two Brighton players. One of those is going to go on my bench, and I'd have to bring Erling Haaland in. That's my favourite thing to do right now. Obviously, there is other options really to go for, because the problem is really game week 32. Man City blank, so I have that issue as well. So do I want another player that's going to blank in 32? Probably not, but it's Erling Haaland. He could score 4 goals in the next 2 game weeks. Because obviously game week 31 is Leicester at home, so that's a nice fixture. Or do I go for Darwin Núñez up front? Obviously Leicester, Liverpool have a point to prove. They need to get wins on the board. They need to score goals. And obviously they don't blank in game week 32, and in the 32 in the future they're going to have Forest at home. So do I go for Núñez? Either way, it's probably Danny Ings is going to be looking to be gone. He definitely will be gone in 31, but I'm 80% certain he's going to be gone in game week 30, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be Erling Haaland in. I'm going to wait till the deadline in the morning, but for now, I'm looking at taking Danny Ings out and bringing Erling Haaland in. And there you have it. That is my late team selection for game week 30. Now, I know it's not much time for anybody to watch it, and probably nobody will watch this video, but if anybody does watch this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one.